Hey, it's Jen, Bitch in a Hurry, Not So Mystical Tarot. You can find me on Instagram at Bitch in a Hurry or at bitchinahurry.com, where all the personal readings are on sale, even the 2019 projections, which are month by month for you. So take a look there. This is a reading for Sun, Moon, or Rising Leo for the 1st to the 15th of December 2018. Just know that if this does or does not resonate with you, it is always a good time to check your moon or rising signs, because if this resonates with you, it will help you to round out the reading for you personally. And if it doesn't, you may find that your sun or moon sign you resonate with a little bit more for this reading, and you might get a little bit more out of it. So feel free to check those out as well. Now, my Leos, you start out here with the Five of Pentacles. You start out feeling a loss, just feeling really sad and like really let down by something or someone. And the thing that you're missing is, like, if you look, this person's like looking down, they're really, really sad. There's all this beautiful sunshine up here and everything over here. There's living a little butterfly or a little birdie like right in front of them, and there's all this beautiful foliage, but they're so stuck in their head and in their sadness that they can't, all they have to do is pick up their head and open their eyes to see that there's beauty all around them. So you do have this feeling of loss and this feeling of that something has happened and something is not in your life anymore and you miss it. I think you know that it was okay for it to go, but you just weren't ready to say goodbye. And that's okay. So take the time, feel the feels, do whatever you got to do, but it is going to be time for you to move on. This leaves you feeling very confused and overwhelmed. Here you have the Seven of Cups. This is just a feeling of overwhelm, like, I don't know what to do next, like she's pointing over there, he's looking over there, there's stuff all over the ground. This says to me it's time to clean up your environment. Clean up your environment, pick up the mess of what happened, whatever this is that's out of your life. It's left behind a little bit of a mess, and it's time for you to clean that up. And this can be emotionally too, like you may need to sit with yourself for a little bit, even write a list of pros and cons, good and bad, so that you can, I don't know, kind of reconcile yourself to what happened and where do you start? Where do you go from here? Where do you go right now? The next card you have is the Four of Pentacles, which is, the Miser card or whatever, but it says to me that you just feel like you want to keep everything really close right now because you're feeling hurt from this loss. Whatever this loss was, it's making you feel sad and it's making you feel afraid. And the more afraid you feel, the tighter you're going to hold on to something. But, what is that old saying that, that tighter you hold on to something, the more it tries to run away from you. So you can hold on really, really tight, but sometimes, when you pull something really, really tight, it flies right out of your hands. That's the same thing. So while you may want to guard your heart and kind of hold on to what you have, don't hold on too tight, because sometimes that just becomes your whole focus. Your whole focus is just holding on so tight to this one thing that you lose like every bit of joy in your life. Now, I know this is a little heavy, but the next card we have here is the Nine of Cups. And the Nine of Cups is someone who is really reaching for that emotional fulfillment. You can see you get all these big, beautiful fish all around, which always signal prosperity and fulfillment. And then you have, this person here coming right toward that cup, right from their heart, the thing that they want more than anything. So I think the way for you to come out of this whole overwhelm and loss and sadness and clutching onto everything for dear life is to turn your attention to something that gives you joy. Turn your attention to something that gives you joy and something that makes you feel whole and makes you feel good. That's going to be the only thing that's going to pull you out of this, this sort of slump that you're in, or this, help you get over this loss. Sometimes when you have a loss like that, the only thing you can do is just completely turn and do something that gives you joy. So whatever that might be, whether it's spending time with your family and friends, or maybe it's spending time away from your family and friends, whatever it is, taking classes, joining the gym, going for a walk, getting a dog, whatever, walking your neighbor's dog, helping with your siblings or your kids, or going to, your nieces and nephews' stuff at school, whatever it is, just find something that makes you feel happy and makes you feel kind of smiley from inside, because it's the only thing that's going to get you through this feeling of loss and overwhelm, and then this weird clutching onto everything out of fear thing, because that's really stressful and it never gets any better. So when you can just turn and face and do something different, involve yourself in something that really brings you joy. If there's a class you always wanted to take, or someplace you always wanted to travel to, go there. go and do that thing, because that thing's going to pull you out of this muck and this mire, and you really need somebody to yank you out of that. And also, here we have the Four of Swords, the next card. And then Four of Swords says, take a minute, take a break, back it up, take some time, take a deep breath, evaluate the situation, and find a way to move forward. And that's what you have with this Four of Swords. You have this, let's take a little break. This is some pretty intense feeling we've got going over here. So take some time. And this Four of Swords also coincides with that whole make a list of good and bad. That's a time of like reconciliation and evaluation. Let's take some time and figure out what in the heck we're going to do to get out of this feeling of depression and sadness and out of this feeling of loss. And we want to go and do something that's good for us, but we don't quite know what that is. So here you can employ the King of Swords. The King of Swords is on your side. There is no one more mentally agile or mentally acute than the King of Swords. So whatever it is that you need to do, you will be able to formulate a plan and do this. When you get objective about this situation and not just emotional, because it's really easy to be just super emotional about all of this that's going on, because it hits you hard in your practical life and in your emotional life. So when you take this from an objective standpoint, you're going to be able to look at this and go, okay, this makes sense, this does not make sense, my behavior here does not coincide with what's really going to need to happen for me to get better. So make sure that you employ this King of Swords, get super objective, take a deep breath. You've got your Four of Swords, which is time for you to rest and evaluate. Take a deep breath and make a plan. Now, you're going to make your plan, and your plan is going to set you here, which is great. This is the beginning of balance again. You're starting out with this Two of Pentacles. You can see this person isn't perfectly balanced, but they're on their way. They're like, okay, they got a couple things in the air. They're making some decisions. They aren't there yet. They're not in a perfect form, but they are balancing it out, and they are getting back on their feet. And that's what you're going to do. That's what all this evaluation and the mental acuity and all of that is going to be able to help you do, is to start over, to get back on your feet again, and to be able to feel free here with this Ace of Cups to open yourself up again for some joy. And I know that you were super upset or hurt or betrayed or something over here, like when we started out, but you getting yourself back balanced and back under control is going to allow you to open yourself up again for some kind of emotional happiness. And I know that seems a little scary, but you have to have that, right? Because if you don't have that, what do you have? You have nothing. I mean, you have to be able to open yourself up to the chance for friendship, love, happiness, fulfillment. You have to be able to open yourself up, or you'll never be able to truly feel the joy of those things. Now, we have the Six of Swords here. You've done a lot of work, and this is just reminding you that through all of this, this is really hard work. I feel like there is something that you've been through that you really had to give it your all to get through this. And it's okay now. Like here you have this Two of Pentacles where everything's getting back on track, getting back balanced, back under control. The Six of Swords says, okay, you've got everybody in their place. Everybody's in their place. All the thinking has been done. All the planning has been done. Take a little break here. Again, the swords always give you that time to evaluate, get everything in order, take a break. Don't stress yourself out beyond control. Don't make yourself into a crazy person over this hurt and anguish and over your plans. And don't obsess over your plans. Just know what they are and follow them. But take time to rest as well, because you don't want to just become like completely OCD over this whole thing. And the other thing, and I was going to say this before this card even came out because I could feel it, was the Seven of Swords. This is something you may need to keep to yourself. This is heavy stuff, and it also may, I don't want to say that if some people knew about the struggle you were going through, they might use it against you, but I feel like that's the only thing that makes sense here. I keep hearing that, like they'll use it against you. So this struggle that you're going through is not for social media. It is not for you to put on Facebook. It's better that you just deal with this on your own. If you have someone who's very, very close to you, there's nothing wrong with talking to this one person about this, but this is not something that you're going to want to share widely. It will not be good for you to share this widely. This is your business, and you need to really keep this your business. This is not to be shared with others. Now, the final card we have is the Knight of Cups for you guys, and that's beautiful. This is beautiful because you start here with this Ace of Cups. You have the Ace of Cups here where you're open and you're thinking about, okay, I'm going to try to like let something else in after all of this anguish, hurt, stress, whatever. I'm going to let somebody else in. I mean, you had this 9 here, you know, so you've gone from the overwhelm here with the 7, just this overwhelming, like, what is going on? I don't know what is happening, to the 9, like, I want to find something that makes me happy and gives me joy, to the Knight, which says, I'm going for it. I'm going to go for that joy. I'm going to find a way to be happy, and no one's going to stop me. So this is a very promising card. You're going to have the ability to really make a break for what's going to make you happy here. And like I've said, you know, just keep it to yourself, okay? It's not for everybody to know. And that's all right. It's your business. It's your personal journey. And this is just not for the whole rest of the world to be part of. You'll know the people you can share it with and the people that you can't. But just know that you're going to have everything working in your favor to head you toward that thing that you really do love, that's going to help you heal from all this stuff over here. So I'm interested to hear how you guys do and what you have going on this month. I will talk to you very soon at the New Moon in Sagittarius video for you. See ya.